Time travelers, and welcome to Over Time. It's actually been an extraordinary day. As usual, it's not all as simple as it looks like, but we're covering about 3 or 4 interconnected stories. So let's start with what the House Judiciary has done and why they had to do it. So there has been mounting pressure. Every Democrat in the House wants to see the Epstein Files released, every single one. A number of Republicans who have been pro-MAGA have wanted to see them released because this was one of Trump's campaign promises. Recently, Trump has been walking that promise back, and presumably nobody knows why. We all know, but let's for a minute just go with the narrative here. Nobody knows why. He's rolling it back. Johnson said that he was for a vote of was that his Andring? Thought I heard someone in my okay. I'm hearing things now. Speaker Johnson started walking that back, and then, so as to not get caught out really publicly lying, said, we'll get to it when we get time, but vacation is coming up, and actually not only delayed everything to lock up all the time until vacation, but is releasing everybody a day early so that the House could not vote on anything in regards to trying to get this information from the White House or making any resolutions demanding that the White House release these files. So he basically felt like, oh, hey, I won. He walked the line between what he said he'd do and actually doing anything without getting really caught in it. Having said that, the judiciary today decided that they had had enough and have issued, by a quick count, about 10 or 15 subpoenas minimum, maybe a good deal more. Let's now the 2 biggest subpoenas that we're going to discuss is one to the Department of Justice. Let me correct that. They have not issued these subpoenas. What they have done is issued demands for subpoenas. Now, their demands can be completely ignored unless they exceed, I think it's 2/3 in the judiciary, which they have, meaning Johnson cannot block the request. Despite the fact that he's Speaker of the House, he must issue the subpoenas. So while the subpoenas have not yet been issued, and this is important, they've been demanded by the judiciary, and by a vote of 8-2, meaning that the House will necessarily issue these subpoenas. I don't know the procedure for this. So there may be institutional ways of slowing down or even stopping this. I would also like to point out that subpoenas were issued for many of Trump's administration, and they completely ignored them. So as we've talked about how much power the judiciary has been literally just handing over to Trump, and I mean just giving it over to Trump, the Congress has not so much been giving it over as just sort of looking the other way when he abuses it. They literally let his administration during his impeachment hearings just not show up for subpoenas, and like, well, oops, I guess a subpoena doesn't mean anything. It's not worth the toilet paper it's written on. So is that going to be the case here? That's a good question. In part, yes, I suspect. In part, no. One of the reasons is one of the subpoenas is for Ghislaine Maxwell. She is Epstein's partner in all of this. She is the living partner. She is the one who knows most about that operation, and she has been subpoenaed, there is an order now for her to testify before Congress. I have no doubt in my mind she will do it. None. What she testifies to may be fluid. How her memory is may be fluid based on any number of factors. She'll go. So that the fact that they have subpoenaed her, or I am going to, for the sake of argument, repeatedly say that she has been subpoenaed. She has not. but the order has gone in. It is essentially as good as a subpoena, but for the fact that there's a period of time in between when the order is issued and the subpoena itself is issued. And I don't know, but it's compulsory. The House must issue these subpoenas. So going forward, I will say they have subpoenaed. That is inaccurate, but not trivially so for the context of most of this conversation. So Ghislaine Maxwell has been subpoenaed, so she's going to testify before Congress, and they can ask her anything they want, and any member can ask anything they want. That's staggering. We were sitting here going like, oh wow, Rupert Murdoch is going to get to subpoena her. He's going to get to subpoena her and get a deposition. And the contents of that deposition will be sealed. But wow, we were shocked about that just a couple days ago. And now she's going to be testifying before Congress. So they have requested all of the files from the Department of Justice. This one, I think the DOJ may ignore. It is absolutely illegal. It'll probably go to the Supreme Court, but since Trump has ignored himself subpoenas from Congress, I'm sure he's going to tell his Justice Department to continue to follow in that practice. We'll see. Maybe they'll get some of it, maybe they won't. They have said that victims' information can be redacted. Nothing else. The reason this is important is Trump has said that he will release any information so long as it's credible. There's a severe problem with that, which is who gets to determine what's credible. Since you can't know if it's credible or not until you've seen it, then the people who are currently in possession of it get to determine if it's credible or not. And if they are suspects in the crimes that you are investigating, bear with me here, what tends to happen is that they find that nothing that implicates them is credible. So Trump cannot determine what is credible evidence against him in an investigation that could include him. So he has said it's what we determine is credible. Pam Bondi has come out and said there is nothing credible left. That's why they're not releasing the files. So the word credible has been deliberately excluded from the subpoena. It's everything except for identifying information of victims. That's it. That's all they can withhold. All right, again, I don't know when the subpoenas are going to get issued. We'll get into that in a minute. A number of other subpoenas have been issued, and this is extremely important. These include, let's see, oh dear Lord, former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, FBI Director James Comey, former Attorney General Merrick Garland, former FBI Director and Special Counsel Robert Mueller, former Attorney General Bill Barr, former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, former Attorney General Alberto Gonzalez, former House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, and a number of others. Why? Well, two reasons. Some of those are names that would actually be of genuine interest. I'd like to know what Bill Barr, for example, has to say. Most of the rest, in my view, have nothing to do with the Epstein Files. Having said that, they're Democrats. They're Democrats that Trump has said these files implicate and who made these files. So now these people will get to testify as to whether or not they created the files, how much of this is fake, how much isn't, and this is part of what is keeping now a reasonably strong coalition of Democrats and Republicans united, because Hillary Clinton, Merrick Garland, James Comey are also being subpoenaed in relation to these Epstein files. My strong suspicion is nothing there. But because that is a Republican talking point, the Republicans have signed on to a majority that cannot be overridden by Speaker Johnson. So while Speaker Johnson has been absolutely protecting Donald Trump, both by saying, oh, we'll get to the files, then explicitly saying there's no point in us doing our own investigation because Trump has done his own, and then saying, well, we'll vote on it after vacation, but oops, we're leaving for vacation early, so it's going to be a couple of months. Got completely around that by including a whole bunch of Democrats. I think it's a waste of time. I don't care. If this is what it takes to get Republicans on board, and who knows, there are Republicans as convinced of Trump's innocence as I am of James Comey and Hillary Clinton's. So let's have at it. You know, what's good for the goose. Let's investigate Trump, let's investigate Hillary, and let's see where it lands. I'm willing to roll those dice. So what we have coming out of the judiciary today is a large number of government officials, all of whom are being subpoenaed in relation to the Epstein case. Anybody will be able to ask them just about any questions within their time limit in Congress. That means they're going to be asked if they invented this for Trump, yada, yada, yada. But Ghislaine Maxwell is the biggie. That's huge. And probably the way they got her was by agreeing to put on Hillary Clinton and everybody else in the Republican wish list. They're all there. I was going to say it's going to be a proverbial shit show, but the reality is, while the Republicans are going to make a lot of hay over what the Democrats say there, I don't think they're going to find much. Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be a day we're all going to be tuning in. So, and that's in addition to the Epstein Files. How many of these people are actually going to comply with the given that Trump has set the bar for compliance to wiping ass with subpoena. The technical term is wiping your ass with the subpoena. That's the bar set by President Donald J. Trump during his first second criminal yeah, that's the bar. My guess is most of these people are going to follow through with it. Again, Ghislaine Maxwell has every reason to follow through with it. So there you go. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal is giving tidbits in ways that make it look like they're going to drop a bombshell soon. I mean, this is insane. And this is what we said was going to happen this week, and here it is. What they have released today, saying that they have sources that say that the Department of Justice told Donald Trump in May that his name is repeatedly in the Epstein Files. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, that's when he started changing his mind about releasing it. So the fact that the Wall Street Journal, again, on the right, we talked about why it's important that it's the Wall Street Journal that's releasing this information and that's getting it. It's because they're credible on the right. So if you're on the right and you take this kind of stuff seriously, you're reading this and you're realizing, wait a minute, that's when he changed his mind. The other problem is he has said repeatedly that he has spoken with Pam Bondi and she has said to him his name does not appear there anywhere at all. We then played that clip for you where he does say, well, yeah, there's a lot of forgery in there, like in the places where my name appears. It's like, we know it's fake. It's like, well, wait a minute. Didn't you say your name doesn't appear? Now it does, but it's fake. Now it's back to his name doesn't appear. So he has said repeatedly that Pam Bondi has told him his name is not in there. The Wall Street Journal is reporting he was told repeatedly that his name is in those files repeatedly. Not just once, not just a couple of times. He's in there. Which we kind of knew anyway, because Trump, who sues everybody at the drop of a hat, I'm going to see if I can find this. Is just, I think nothing puts it better than this meme. Please remember that Elon Musk said that Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. He said it. He just came out, said it. He put it on Twitter, ostensibly the most powerful social media platform in human history. Put it out there, said Trump is in the Epstein Files. He didn't apologize or retract it, sorry. He pulled it down. That's not the same as retracting it. You know, if you shout into a crowd something libelous and slanderous, just because you're not shouting it anymore doesn't mean you didn't shout it out and doesn't mean you said, oops, I was wrong. He hasn't retracted it. And he left it up there for a day or however long enough. He said Trump is in the Epstein Files. No one who has walked the earth is more litigious than Donald Trump. If Trump is not in the files, he would have already sued Elon Musk for saying he is. The absence of Trump's legal action speaks volumes. Could not agree more. So, and he's suing and I said before when we first covered this, I think his deciding to sue Rupert Murdoch is the death knell on this. At some point, this is going to become an existential crisis for Murdoch, and Murdoch has only one life raft in that boat, and he's going to take it. And the Wall Street Journal is already giving out information that could destroy Trump, including that 50 birthday thing. Maxwell is now going to testify before Congress. She's going to testify in the civil suit that Trump was dumb enough to turn into a real thing. So this is insane. This is, in my view, this reminds me of Watergate. This is what the end of a presidency, I think, looks like. I don't mean end tomorrow. I don't mean end next month. But it's the Titanic. It's taking on water, and everybody on board knows it's got a limited amount of time left. And it's how quickly are people going to realize that, and how soon before they bail? Like I said, I expect pushback on these subpoenas, but they can't stop Maxwell. And that's the one they have to stop, which means how much pushback are they going to start giving? Because any senator or congressman who starts trying to get this process to stop, people are going to say, why? As the evidence is mounting, it's going to become harder. And Pam Bondi can be implicated now, too, for covering up for Trump, because apparently she's known since May. And since the Justice Department, all their records have been Epstein Files have been subpoenaed from the Justice Department itself. If she's lied about it, to Congress, so this is absolutely huge. So, like I said, a large number of people being subpoenaed. Alberto Gonzales, Jeff Sessions, Bill Barr, Merrick Garland, Loretta Lynch, Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, James Comey, and a whole bunch more, all being subpoenaed as part of this investigation. And now, they had wanted the House to take up a formal investigation, but Johnson stopped it. So now just the judiciary has gotten enough Republican votes to do it within the judiciary without him being able to stop them. And again, in part, it's by adding Hillary Clinton, and it's just fine, add those names. So that is the biggie on, and what I want to do real quick is, let's see, I want to make sure I've covered everything on that before I cover the one other piece of news. So the lead on Epstein is that the Wall Street Journal is saying that Pam Bondi informed Trump as early as May that his name was repeatedly in the files. He has denied that his name is in the files at all, but that is roughly when he started saying, we're not going to open up the files, we don't need to, why are people still on this? And he has repeatedly said his name is not in the files. Wall Street Journal is saying it is. The files, along with Ghislaine Maxwell, have been subpoenaed by Congress, or at least orders for subpoenas have been issued. We don't know when that's going to be heard. It will be after vacation, but that's a very bad sign for Trump. The Wall Street Journal is continuing to drip and drab information. If I were, what's his name? Murdoch, I would now press the gas on the defense in the civil suit against him, and the reason is because A, you don't know if Ghislaine Maxwell is going to end up accidentally killing herself, and B, you don't know if her testimony is going to change later. So you want to lock her into her testimony now before she's offered a sweet deal by somebody. So where Murdoch had time on his side, now that this has happened, if I were Murdoch, I was like, Does 7 seconds ago work as a great starting time for doing this deposition? So we'll see what he does. We'll see what Fox News does. Fox has been hard on Trump recently in regards to Epstein. My guess is it's going to become harder. Trump is suing the head of Fox News for $28 billion or some insane number like that. And B, information from Wall Street Journal and other sources just keep showing that Trump has done nothing but lie about all of it. So he lied about how close he was to Epstein. He's lied about whether or not he was even in the files. All of it. So we'll see. I don't know. Meanwhile, what was the CNN is reporting that the Pentagon's Inspector General said that the plans that were shared by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth on his Signal account were actually classified and marked classified at the time that he received them and at the time that he shared them. This contradicts his public testimony to Congress, where he said that they were not classified. They were just sort of discussing, hashing things out. He shared them twice. The first one was in a Signal chat with other cabinet members. Now, the problem is Signal is not an approved secure communication. So he was using a insecure email server to send emails to other... he was using an insecure chat app to send classified combat details. I wanted to use language the Republicans would understand. Many Republicans don't know what Signal is, so just think of it as a private email server. That's what it is. And he was sending classified document. The difference between him and Hillary was he knew it was classified and it was classified at the time he did it, where Hillary, according to the investigation, if anyone actually bothers to read the damn report, the stuff that she sent that was classified after she sent it. In case anyone cares about things like truth. So anyway, even though he was sending it to people who had a right to that knowledge, including other members of the cabinet, he was sending it via an unsecured system, which is a violation of laws that were established after Hillary Clinton's private email server debacle, where it was decided that people like Colin Powell didn't use a private email server. He had advised her against it, but said that there was no law against it. He was in fact correct. She had asked him, and they said, no, we're going to make a law against this. You really can't do this. People had chosen not to because they thought it was a bad idea. It was codified into law by the Republicans, so Hegseth has an issue there. But he also shared these plans with his wife and a number of other people, or at least a chat that included his wife, who is not supposed to be receiving top secret information, as it turns out. And he did share what the Pentagon is now saying were, at the time, known to him, documents that were classified top secret. This also means that he's perjured himself to Congress, which I believe is a felony. I could be wrong. I'm not being smarmy. I honestly forget. You're not supposed to lie to Congress when you're under oath. So we will see. This isn't being made a whole heck of a lot of news. This just happened today that this came out, that the Pentagon has confirmed it was top secret. He said it wasn't. We had no real reason to disbelieve him, but for the fact it sounded a little like it wasn't secret. You don't think it's when we're going to bomb should have been okay. But now, it turns out when we're striking a foreign hostile power, the targets and times and the aircraft that we're using and the altitude they'll be flying is in fact secret. We don't want the enemy to know that. In case you plan on taking over any small countries this weekend. Anyways, so my guess is, he lucked out in one sense, which is he is the lowest of the low on the totem pole of what people are talking about today, we brought it to you because it's very important, and it's very hard to see how he's going to survive this. He may survive simply because he drew the lottery on days for this to come out. But having said that, he was already in by the skin of his teeth. Many people have said he's just not qualified. It's obvious he's not qualified. He doesn't know the lingo. He miscommunicates about stuff because he doesn't understand how the military works, and it's screwing everything up. Everybody in the military hates him. It is a catastrophe, and they want him gone. So anybody who wants him gone, that's a Republican right now in the House, has an opportunity to do it. Also, nobody's looking is the other thing. So he can just sit there and say, resign, or I'm going to make a huge deal about it. So my anticipation is he's going to be gone with this revelation, whether they say it's because of this or he just, however it happens, I think this is it. I don't think he can survive this. He's lied to Congress now, and he was already. So my guess is Hegseth is out. It may be a couple of weeks, but it was classified information. He shared it with his wife, a whole bunch of people on an unsecured channel. On top of a whole bunch of other fuck-ups. And everybody in the cabinet hates him, too. So, I think that's, yeah. So, let me go quickly hit the live chat here. Dunk on You, $20. Yes, you're awake. It's overtime. Just in time. Slava Ukraini. I know, I've been a little under the weather, so I'm back. Hopefully everything's going to be okay going forward. Also, Dunk on You, who's just been a stalwart supporter of In Time, which I really appreciate, sir. Thank you very much. Has also gifted 5 In Time memberships, so thank you for that. Mitch Ashdown, 20 Canadian. Those worms wriggle in the most intricate and entangled ways, is what I notice. Yeah. It gets me thinking of what Commander McMillan said when we were talking about intelligence operations, counterintelligence operations, and what it seems to me the best way to describe it is everybody's working for everybody. The question is just how much. So every U.S. spy is helping some Russian spy somewhere. If for no other reason than it helps them get close to the Russian spy and get more intelligence. But where is the line? There's no fine line delineator that, it's nothing but shades of gray. There's no there, and it's not even shades of gray. It's one solid gray mass. There's no shades of anything. You can't make anything out from what I can tell in intelligence work. We were talking about Epstein. Was Epstein an agent for Mossad? Well, it looks to me like he worked for them, but it looks to me like he also worked for the U.S. And so he was like, look, maybe he started as an agent for Mossad. U.S. busted him and said, listen, we'll let you keep going, but everything you send back to Mossad, you send a copy to us first. Some of it we may change, and some of it we'll let you keep and send back so that you can keep them happy. And in exchange, we'll get you whatever it is you want, including but not limited to walking on what the FBI said was, I think, 64 counts that would have had him in life, in prison without the possibility of parole, forever. And that got dropped in 2008. That wasn't dropped by Mossad. That was not dropped by Mossad. So who dropped it? He was an intelligence agent, but he worked for probably several of them that didn't like each other. Anyways, yeah, yeah. So thank you for that, Mitch. I appreciate it. Haji, new follower. Welcome, Haji. Thank you so much for becoming a time traveler and joining us. We always appreciate having member support, and I hope you'll come join us on the Discord and see what we do down there. We're going to be following all of this on the Discord. We were supposed to do a show tonight on Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart. It would have been more timely last night. Unfortunately, family matters took precedent, so I don't think we can do them tomorrow because it's a downtime. we were going to maybe do it tonight, but then this broke. So it won't be as in time as one would hope, but then again, nothing we do ever is. So, but we are going to talk about what I thought was a very eloquent speech by Jon Stewart and the collapse of integrity to hostage-taking, bullying, and embezzlement was not the word I was looking for. Everything over Colbert getting fired and people basically paying off bribes and or protection money to Donald Trump to keep him happy, so that he will allow the merger of what was it? Was it Pixar? And no, it wasn't Pixar, but there's a merger. Paramount is looking with Scott. What is it? I think they did Lost. I forget. Anyways, Paramount is looking at a very big merger. Trump didn't like Colbert, and since the FCC has approval rights over the merger, they knew if they didn't capitulate to Trump, Skydance, the merger with Skydance wasn't going to happen. So they capitulated. Now, presumably, they're going to get their merger. Wouldn't it be funny if Trump got kicked out of office and they didn't get their merger? And they killed The Late Show, a show, Carson, Letterman, redefined that segment. And by the way, Colbert is still the number one rated late night talk show host for that time slot. Really? Skydance, yeah, it was Skydance. Thank you. All right, so thank you for joining us, and thank you for all of you who come to all of our shows. I love seeing the names that I know in the live chat, and so thank you all. I see Daddy Jim, a few others in there, so thank you guys all. Oh yeah, the most eloquent, that was the most eloquent part of the speech. I don't think I've trimmed that part out, Titan. I appreciate it. I've trimmed that out. I'm trying to be a good boy when it comes to monetization. I really am. I found out my instincts aren't that way. My instincts are to drop F-bombs and to say things like, I'm going to wipe my ass with this subpoena. Because it's appropriate. That's what Trump said. I'm sorry, but that's what he said. He didn't use those exact words, but that's exactly what he said and thought. I'm calling it. We've been demonetized again. Anyways, Blonde Bombsheller, thank you. Another one who's been supporting us for a while now and is always giving gifts and super chats. Gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much, Blonde Bombsheller, for that. We really appreciate it. And again, she's also a member, so it's just that kind of support is very helpful. So that's it. We will be covering the Stephen Colbert, because I think it's important, but it's not necessarily as timely as thank you. It's just we're dealing with a lot right now, so we're going to have right now we have downtime scheduled 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We could do the show during that, but I kind of wanted to just have that be Lance and I talking about the current stuff. We're probably going to get into it, but we also had a separate show really geared much more just towards the what Colbert is talking about in how Trump is operating, and we'll figure out what we're going to get that done. Yes, definitely. Daddy Jim's got a very good point. Thank you to all the mods again, and thank you for a late last minute show. And we will see you all tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern for downtime. Before I go, let me just see if there's anywhere where we might want to raid. I don't know if there's a place that I know of that you guys might want to go to. Let me just see who's up there right now, at least anyone that I can see. A few people have been very generous in raiding us, which I sincerely appreciate. So, Mercado Gaming is up, but that's the only one that I see. So it may just be a bad time. So unfortunate. Haji, $5. Nick, I'm proud to be your follower. I'm friends with most in the chat today. Well, thank you very much for your super chat. And everybody, I have the best I have all the best followers. My followers are the way they like the streams. It's I can't. We could not have gotten a better thing from Sean Spicer. I'm going to get him to get replaced with Baghdad Bob. We're going to do that now. Now the AI has gotten good enough. We're going to have Baghdad Bob. But no, we do well. You guys have really great discussions. I keep up with what you guys say, and and you guys often correct me. This isn't about me just, being right all the time. Wish it was, but we're trying to make sense out of some very complicated things, and I appreciate everybody who joins us all together in that ride, and I'm delighted to be the captain of that ship. So come join us on the Discord. Check out what we're talking about. A lot of great memes have been coming out too. So come either post a few or check out what we've got there. And we will see you all tomorrow night, barring anything really extraordinary breaking. We will see you all tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for Downtime with Commander Lance McMillan. Thank you all.